Is it good? Is it bad? Is it ugly? I don't know, but it is certainly both fast and furious. Guess what, guys? I was in LA for the premiere of Fast and Furious, the 4th installment in the Fast and the Furious series. Guess what? New model, original parts. Is it going to hold up? I'm going to tell you right here today on Garage419. Let me break it down for you. Fast and Furious slides in between the second and third movies. It's as if that whole Tokyo drift thing never happened. Not a bad call if you ask me. It follows what happens to the main characters from Vin Diesel and Paul Walker after the second movie. So Vin Diesel is a fugitive, now he's back in the States. Paul Walker is an FBI agent who's moved up in the ranks. The two find that they need to reunite to actually fight a common enemy in the movie, and the story unfolds as we discover their antagonizing relationship as well as how they need to help each other out to achieve their common goal. Okay? So, not a super deep plot, but then again, this is the Fast and the Furious we're talking about here, so you weren't really expecting that anyway. What do you want to see? You want to see cars and explosions and really cool driving, and it has that in spades. How does the acting work out? Well, I gotta tell you, there's a lot of drama in this movie. A lot more than you expect from any of the other movies. In fact, there's a scene where Vin Diesel, it's like they cut the film like that much before Vin Diesel sheds a tear. Also, Jordana Brewster, totally welcome. Thank you for finally coming back. I know you haven't done much in between the Fast and Furious 1 and now, and you really should have because you're hot and I really like looking at you. Why are you driving a turbocharged NSX in the movie? I don't know. I can guarantee you she didn't build it herself. And while Dominic's been off wherever he's been for the past 5 years in between, who knows who she's been banging to get that car, but good for her. Nice work. Special effects. Let me say one word. Well, one word, 3 letters. CGI. Trust me, these cars didn't even need to have engines in them to film half the scenes in the movie. Every movie's got CGI in it these days. Does it take away from the film? No. In fact, the opening scene has very little CGI, and that is actually one of the more powerful scenes in the whole movie. Stick around for a minute, because when I come back, we're going to talk about the cars, and of course, everyone loves the Fast and the Furious ridiculousness of the whole thing. Stick around.
I left the trail of myself, every place that I've been through. And going bald is the most manly thing I'm ever gonna do.
$99 music videos is best experienced with Verizon Fios Internet.
We're talking about Fast and Furious, the movie, right here on Garage419, and here's what you guys really want to know about: the cars. I don't know who set up their cars in this movie, but he had way bigger of a brain than anyone who's worked in the Fast and the Furious movie in the past. Here's why. I got a list of some highlights I remember from the movie in terms of cars. You've of course got that Buick GNX. You've got a Ford Cosworth RS200, lots of Skylines and Silvias. You got muscle cars from Chargers to Chevelles to Mustangs. You've got a Subaru STI that looks great. A Lamborghini LM002 SUV was used, and if I'm not mistaken, that's the first time one of those has ever appeared in a movie. And my favorite Mustang, actually, the Terlingua supercharged V6 Mustang, and only one Honda that I can remember in the movie. I sat there and watched and counted, and I only saw one Honda. So good for you, boys. Also, can only count one epic failure in terms of cars in the movie. There is a black and gold BMW M5 that is blatantly a 528i. Guys, E39 M5s are cheap enough these days. You should have just bought a real one. As for Fast and the Furious ridiculousness, and we all know about the danger to manifold scene in the first one, the happy conversation they're having on the mountainside while drifting in the third one. There's plenty of Fast and the Furious ridiculousness in the third one. From Vin Diesel driving his truck underneath a flipping fuel tanker, to driving in a tunnel from Mexico to the US and back, surviving gunshot wounds without even noticing it, and of course, the ending, which I won't tell you, but leaves room for a 5th one. And my inside sources inside Universal Pictures tell me they are already working on a 5th one. So, the verdict, should you go see Fast and Furious? If you're a car guy, absolutely. If you like fun action movies, absolutely. If you're into The Notebook and other sort of Oscar-friendly films, definitely not. But I had a great time seeing it at the premiere. It's a really fun movie. It's, I would say, in the order of Fast and the Furious movies, it goes 1, 4, 2, 3, and 3 could just be kicked off to the side somewhere, even though Tanner's driving is really good. That's my review of Fast and Furious. Go check it out in theaters starting April 3rd. I'm Matt Farah, and you've been watching Garage419.
This week on WePCTV.
Some engineer saying that Skynet is processing at 60 teraflops a second. I don't know what the hell that means.
It's a special, like, pool dive you can do. Rodney Dangerfield does that in Back to School, I think. He does a teraflop.
WePCTV is brought to you by ASUS and Intel. You dream it, ASUS builds it, Intel inside.